To make the flowers, you need to use at least 3 different types of flower dyes, Thinlits, and I've used these 3 from the set. So there's one larger one, of which I've cut 1, and there's a slightly smaller one, again I've cut 1, and then of the tinier one I've cut 2. These 2 will create the bud that sits in the middle, and then these 2 will create the outside edges. And I've used a little bit of distress ink to go around the edges of my leaves. So the first thing to do is to edge all the flowers with some vintage photo. I've used here distress ink, or any other distress ink colour that you might like to use. Sometimes using a colour on a white card is very effective. And then I'm going to use my tools. This is a foam mat, and this is a tool for making flowers. So I'm going to use that to smooth out some of the areas of the flower. There'll be some technical terms for this, but I have no idea what they're called. But you can see as you use that ball tool, you get that lovely flower shape. So I'm going to do that for the two small ones. Okay, and then put it on one side, and then I'm going to put on the inside of this first petal or set of leaves a pearl gemstone, just to give it, you're not going to be able to see it when it's finished, but it just gives you something to actually mould the flower around. And then for this first one, I am going to put the glue on the outside. Just a tiny little bit, that's all you need. And then I'm going to squish it up. This takes a bit of time. There's no real knack to it. You've just got to try and get your fingers in and squish it up to make that sort of squished bud. Okay, and then it should look like this. Trying to get it in the camera. Okay, and then I'm going to put some glue on the second small one and put that bud inside. Okay. Oh, see, that's gone out of camera. So I'm going to put that inside and just give that a minute just to settle down. And then I'm going to put some glue, this time on the inside. And fold that up around that bud, just the same as we've done before, just squidging it together. If you put too much glue on, don't worry, as long as it's a dry as clear glue, you should be fine. And then you have a small bud. And then for the outer leaves, I'm going to take this, we've got a larger one and a smaller one. And I'm going to use my ball tool again. And just give it a little bit of a former. And then I'm going to use a pokey tool. You could use a thin knitting needle, but this works quite well. You want something quite thin. Just pull, and see what I'm doing, pull those petals back. going to do this for both pieces. And then you'll get some of that distress ink will start to show a bit more. It will identify the edges of the leaves a bit more. So there's no, just, you don't have to curl them over properly, just something that gives them a bit of shape. And then finish off with the ball tool again, just that middle bit, just give them a little bit. There you can see how I hold it up, how you've got some nice edges on there. And then we're going to stick it all together. So we've got the outside, which I'm going to put a bit of glue, and I'm going to add the smaller leaves and try and offset those if I can to the larger one. So you can see those two nestling quite nicely together. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue in again and take the bud and glue that in the middle. And then squish it up a little bit. You need to really give it time to glue properly. So I'll see if I can show you. And then there you have the small rosebud.